For today's class, optional equipment, as always, are going to be weights. I actually have a set of small, like lighter and medium weights, but you certainly don't need those. It's just, I do like to switch it up. And then I have one heavier weight. This is a 10-pound weight, but you can always just like double up the smaller weights, although there will be a chance where we're going to have the heavier weight holding steady while we move our arms with the lighter weights. And then option to have a ball or block or a cushion. Again, totally not super necessary, and it depends on how long things take if we even get to that. And optional resistance band. We are going to start on our feet, and what I would like you to do is have I'm going to have the more medium weights and more light weights kind of close by so you can reach them. So these light ones I use are 3 pounds. You could go as low as 1 or certainly none. And the medium ones I have are 5, and I wouldn't go heavier than that. Some of you might be able to use the heavier ones for all of the moves, but for a couple of them I prefer to use the lighter ones. So you could have like a little can and a bigger can if you're using canned goods for this purpose. So go ahead and come up to the top of your mat, and let's just take an inhale and stretch up. And just laterally bend to one side. I'm going to interlace my fingers and just stretch over to that side. Be working the back kind of straight off, so I just want to do a quick stretch for you. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Good. Inhale, stretch tall, grow taller, stand up on tiptoes for a minute. And release that down. Bring the hands behind your back, clasp them together, pull the shoulder blades together, press the hips forward, and just open your chest, turning the gaze towards the ceiling. Good, and then let's just roll down the spine. So drop your chin towards your chest, round your shoulders, pull your belly button in. Begin to bend your knees as you come down low. So your knees are bent, which rounds over your spine, so it's more of a spinal stretch than it is a hamstring stretch. And grab your opposite elbows and just like hang there. If you like to bounce or shake or twist, whatever feels good for your back, you certainly can do. And then release that, stretch the legs straight, giving yourself a hamstring stretch. And then bend the knees, drop the hips again, and roll yourself all the way back up. All right, so stay there at the top of your mat. As always, I forgot to start the time. The 30-minute one is crucial. I want to make it as close to 30 minutes as possible. Okay, so we're going to do sun salutations, but we're going to integrate the weights. So I am going to grab my lighter weights, my 3-pound weights. And we're going to do the breath of fire with our Utkatasana, moving to sort of warm ourselves up. So starting with the hands high, we're going to inhale, drop those weights back, swinging them behind us, pulling the belly button in, finding Utkatasana, and stand back up on a hug. This just gets kind of different parts of the body moving, gets the lungs pumping, gets the blood pumping, warms you up real quick. 5. Good. Last one, come down and hold it. Bring those arms in front of you, hands together, so you're like in a prayer position, but you aren't actually making prayer. Good. We're going to forward fold, release the arms down, go ahead and let yourself hang. And then keeping the weights in your hand, bring yourself up to that halfway up position, Ardha Utkatasana. Belly button pulling in. And we're going to do flies, opening up our arms. I'm just going to turn to you in case it's easier to see. So we're going to open arms out and back down. 9 and this is why I want to use the slightly lighter weights, because this is pretty challenging, for me at least, using 5-pound weights. So make sure you're looking down towards the floor so that your neck is in one long line. So you don't need to be looking up at me once you know what we're doing. Pull the belly button in. 3 and 2. Last one, bring those hands back to that kind of prayer position. Step back into a lunge. Step the right foot back, coming to lunge, and bring yourself up. Good. Good, make sure you're not feeling pain in that low back. You really want to engage the abs as we do that. All right, we're gonna bring those arms up to that cactus position. We're gonna lunge down as we press up. So we go 10, 9, bending the back knee, not so much worrying about the front knee, not letting that front knee track out over the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, coming back up to the lunge, turning that into a power lunge. So pressing back through that heel, hinging forward, hands are at our shoulders, nice deep bend in that front knee, but not coming out over toes. And we're gonna tricep extend. So bending to the shoulders and extending. Just the elbows are moving for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the palms facing one another, squeeze in towards each other. I'm just going to turn again so you can see this. We're just squeezing in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn the palms up, facing towards the ceiling, and press up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to come down to the floor, bending that front knee, placing the weights on the floor. Step the left foot back, coming to plank. We're going to press up to down dog as you exhale. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. 3, 2, last one. Come back to your plank for our first 5 push-ups. As always, I like to separate my hands. That's totally your option. Fingertips turning slightly in. We're going to come down, chest towards the floor, elbows flare out, not past 90 degrees, just for 5. Lowering down for 5, 4, 3, engaging the core. 2, you can do these from knees. Last one, bringing those hands back in. Chaturanga, hold and hover over the mat. So elbows hug the ribs. We're hovering a couple inches above the mat. 3, 2, and 1, and release down. Good, bringing the hands out to that cactus position, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Lift up and hold, and release. Inhale up, and release. Inhale up for 8. Contracting the glutes. That protects the back. So we're working the back here. We're extending the spine, but we don't want to strain it. 3, 2, last one. Bring the hands under the shoulders, pressing up a little higher into as much of a cobra as you want. Elbows by the side, shoulders down and back. And then coming up to your down dog. So curling toes under, pressing up and back. Downward facing dog. Pressing the palms into the mat. Pressing the heels into the mat. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. All right, our hinges forward. We're going to start bringing the right knee across to the left, to the center, and to the right. So it's 3 sets of 3, so 9 altogether. So extend that right leg high overhead. And then as you exhale, bring it across to the left knee. Inhale up to the chest. Inhale up, out to the right elbow. And again, left elbow to center. Open up the hip. Last round to center. Right elbow, swing it up, and this time bring it forward, plant it down, coming to a low lunge. Pausing here for a stretch. Keeping the left hand in the mat, turn and open, extending the right arm up. 3 big circles, 1, 2, 3, and then this time as you swoop it around, bring that hand to the mat, step the left foot forward, forward fold, Go ahead and grab your lighter weights while you're down here. Bend your knees, keep your back grounded, and slowly roll up, being conscious that you're holding weight, so just be careful. Bringing yourself all the way up. Excellent. Come down into your chair, bringing hands to your shoulders, sitting down and back in your chair. Option to rise up on tiptoes here. Sitting down, not tiptoes I shouldn't say, you're on the balls of your feet. And we're going to tricep extend from here. So kicking back, extending the arms, woo, as you try to balance, which is a challenge. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring this hands to the chest. We're just going to lower down to our heels, back up to the balls of our feet, rocking down and up. Down and up. Belly in, back is long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower the heels, release that all the way down, let the weights go and hang. Now we're going to do basically the same thing as we did on the other side. So again, engage the core, engage the glutes, engage the abs to bring yourself up to that flat back position, hands at the chest, and then extend them out for 10. Not lifting higher than the shoulders. Careful not to lock the knees, and remember you're looking at the floor in front of you, not, or on the floor right in front of your nose, not tilting your head forward to look at the wall or look at me. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring into the chest, step the left foot back, rise up, let your back release, press through that back heel, bringing the arms to cactus, dip down, press up, 10, dip down, press up, bending the back knee towards the floor, front knee just comes along for the ride, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Coming to lunge, transitioning to a power lunge, hinging forward, really press through that back heel, get a nice hamstring stretch, deep bend here to work the front leg, bringing the elbows or the hands to the shoulders, and tricep kickbacks. So now you're looking out in front of your toes somewhere, so you're still looking at the floor, probably not at the wall because we want our neck to be in a neutral position. 5, 4, 3, belly button in, 2, and 1 that protects the back. Squeeze together, release, squeeze. Careful not to swing. If you're using too heavy a weight here, you'll tend to swing. If you're not using any weight, you're just pressing using your own resistance. That's totally fine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn the palms up, press up for 10. And again here, it's a press, not a swing. I don't want you to hurt your shoulders. I want you to build muscle. My front leg's feeling it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending the knee, place the weight on the mat, coming to the lunge. Step that foot back, press up, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, exhale, press back. And 2. Last one, 5 more push-ups. So again, I'm bringing my hands wide. You can drop to knees here, lower down for 5. 4, use the exhale to press up, contract the abs. 3, 2, last one, walk the hands back together under the shoulders, chaturanga, and hover. Lower down to a couple inches above the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that down. I don't know if you can hear that. My neighbors constantly move furniture around, it sounds like. And I do mean constantly. Every day, at all hours of the day. I don't know who needs to rearrange that much furniture. Extend your arms out in front of you. I really try to breathe through it, but it's a challenge. Lift your legs off the mat. So you're contracting your abs, you're contracting your glutes to support your spine, and you're holding everything up for 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Really let it go. Take a breath. Next time you inhale, lift up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And when you release, really let it go. Let the muscles go. Take a breath. Relax. And last time, inhale, lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet down, bring the hands under shoulders, press up to your cobra. You can be much lower than that. I have a particularly bendy back. You don't need to lift up high, and I don't want elbows and shoulders up. So pull the shoulders down, elbows back, contract the glutes. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Pressing the heels into the mat, pressing the palms into the mat. Make sure you're rolling shoulders away. Same thing as we did on the other side. So extend that left leg, come across the body to the right elbow, and kick that leg back up. Exhale, bring it to chest, and extend. Bring it to the opposite knee, and extend. Again, right elbow, I meant to say opposite elbow, to the chest. I mix up my body parts. To the left elbow. Last time, right elbow, to the chest, to the left elbow. And then this time planted down, coming to your low lunge, which would feel like a really lovely break. Press the right hand into the mat, turning to the left, extend the left arm, big circle around, swooping around, working that rotator cuff, and then plant that hand down, step the right foot forward, come to your forward fold, halfway lift, flat back, and release, and inhale, lifting all the way up, exhale, hand at heart center. Okay, go ahead and grab the medium weight, I would say. We're going to be doing some tricep. Keep your other, so if you're using weights, have your medium weights and have the second one handy, but we're not going to use it straight away. All right, I'm going to start facing you. I feel like it's going to be easier for you to see me this way, but we might change. Okay, so we're going to be doing balancing. So root yourself through the floor. I love to do balance and then combine that with the weight because it really throws off your balance, which is good, makes you work harder. Okay, so ground yourself into the floor. I'm going to start standing on this foot so you can mirror me and stand on your left foot, bending your right foot behind you. Grab hold of your foot or your ankle and just squeeze it up. Try to keep your knees in line with one another. So it's just, you're just pulling that leg up, you're getting a nice stretch here through the quad, but you're not kicking back and extending, all right? You're standing nice and tall. With this left hand, we're gonna do triceps. So bring it over behind your head. Can you see that? I'm just gonna dip down for a second so you can see. And you're gonna bring it up and down. I'm gonna just stand back up because I don't wanna be half squatting. Good. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, bring that arm down, hug it by your ribs, and we're gonna bicep curl. I'm gonna turn, and we're gonna bicep curl to the shoulder for 10. Nice and controlled. Five more, continuing to gently pull, getting that stretch through your hamstring, and 3, and 2. Last one. Okay. Transfer to the left hand and come forward into, or to the right hand, sorry, and to the same that the leg is extended. So right hand if the right leg is extended. Press that leg behind you and you're coming to a warrior 3. Some of you may be able to pick up that second set of weights and do this with more weight. I'm going to go ahead and just keep my 5-pound weight because I tend to lose my balance talking to you and doing this, but you can certainly add more weight to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend down towards the floor, bringing the weight to the floor, and press back up. So we're just hinging. You're more or less keeping your body in a straight line from the top of your head out your heel, but you're hinging down for 5, for 4, 3, 2, last one, stand up, place that foot down. And again, if you want, I am going to pick up my second weight here, so I have 2 weights. This is a curtsy. I'm going to turn to an angle for you. I feel like you'll be able to see it the best here. So we're working our glutes. So we're pressing back our glutes. Our back stays straight as we reach these hands with the weight or weights down to the ankle and then stand back up. So the back knee is bending, the front leg is straight, sort of like a curtsy. 8, 7, and you could always put down any of the weight. 6, 5, 4, 3, so you're pushing back the hips, lengthening the spine. Last one, rising up. Good. Bend your knees to release the weights to the floor. Separate your legs nice and wide and just release down, letting the head go. Breathe into the back. I do tend to feel that one in my low back, and it really should be the glutes working. So just be aware if you need to reduce the weight. You don't want to be arching the back, bend the knees, roll yourself up. You want to be feeling that in the glutes. So just sort of have that in your mind. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So decide what weight combo worked for you. And then we're going to shift the weight to the right foot. We're going to grab hold of the left, give yourself that quadricep stretch. Bring that arm overhead, you're bending it towards the left elbow, and then tricep extension up for 10, 9, 8. So this is my more challenging foot in terms of balance. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maintaining that balance. Bring the arm in front of you, hugging the ribs, and bicep curl up for 10. Good. And again, you could be doing this without any weight, and you're just using your muscle resistance. 5, 4. The weight is going to give you more toning, more definition. That's all. Literally, and build strength, of course. Last one. Okay, I'm going to pivot again. That was not very graceful, sorry. And we're going to switch the weight into the left hand as the left foot pushes back, finding your warrior 3, and then we're going to reach towards the floor and tilt back up. Hinge for 8, 7, and again, the weight you could definitely increase. For me, it's a balance issue. When I increase the weight on this, I really struggle with the balance, especially on this foot. 4, 3, 2, and if anyone else suffers plantar fasciitis, woo, this is a killer. All right, step back. Woo, stretch that foot if you need to. Okay, so I am going to pick up my second weight here. Left foot is behind, right foot is forward. We're pushing the hips back as we bring the weights to the floor and then stand back up. So hips push back, back knee bends, front leg stays nice and elongated. For 8. And 7. 6, nice and controlled. Belly button pulls in, and notice that my gaze, my whole head stays in line with my body. I'm not looking at the wall in front of me. Last one. Good. And release that. Bend the knees to place the weight on the floor. This time keeping feet together. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, release. Grab hold of your big toes. Pull your head downwards. Maybe bend and straighten your knees a few times. That always feels nice for me. Release the hands, bend the knees, roll yourself up. Okay, I've placed my weights unhelpfully in the middle of my mat. Okay, come back to the top of your mat. Coming into your chair pose. Sitting nice and low. And we're going to come down to the floor and find boat. So you're going to lower all the way down. You're going to counter pose and find boat pose. Good. I'm going to grab my lighter weights and just hold boat and then squeeze together. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 5, 4, no weights is fine as long as you're not swinging. 2, and 1. Okay, give yourself a hug. All right, so now is the part of the program where you have the option to do a couple of different things. I'm going to have my 5-pound weights nearby. You can definitely go heavier. In fact, I might even hold my 5 and my 3 together. You are going to want your heavier weight if you have it, but again, you could double up the lower weights if you wanted. Totally optional to put a ball between your knees or put the resistance band around your legs. So you're either working against pressing out or working against squeezing in. You decide. There's no reason to do both. It's one or the other. Okay, we're going to come down onto the mat and take that heavier weight and you're going to put it here on your hips. And then you're going to press up. Feet are parallel and we're just going to pulse. So again, you're either squeezing that ball in or you're slightly pressing against the resistance band. Or if you're using neither, you're just working to keep those legs parallel. Squeezing up, pressing up, 2, and 1 coming up onto the balls of your feet, which actually should feel really nice. That balancing stuff, sometimes standing on one foot really makes my foot hurt. Like I feel like I could stand for a long time, but I get this plantar fasciitis pain in my foot, and this stretch is very good for that. 10, 9, tiny move here. Notice it's not a giant up and down. It's just that tiny little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I'm going to kind of drop this weight between my legs so it stays where I want it. Again, you can put it down, but I'm keeping the hips lifted. You can modify this further and not use your glutes at all by bringing a block under you, okay? I just want your hips elevated. Oh, sorry, lower your feet down. So feet are on the mat, ball is an option, weight is an option. Modifications put the weight under you. Then take your weights. I have a total of 8 pounds, and we're going to chest press up. And we're going to do this for 20. 18. So continue to push the hips up. They're going to want to drop. Continue to squeeze against that ball or press open against the band if you're using that. A lot going on here. I think that's 10, right? Ish. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep lifting the hips. Mine just dropped. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring those weights to the floor, slowly lower down to the floor. Release whatever you've got going on in your hips, and then, oops, that is my back against the mat. Hug your legs into your body. Okay, so for our final exercise, I'm gonna have you open up your hips and just moving the weights off to the side. So you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop open to open your hips. Now some of you have much more open hips than I do, as we've discussed. Mine don't go that low. Bring a weight. I've got the 10 pound. I wanted a heavier one. You can use no weight or you can use smaller weights. I'm going to put one hand on the weight and the other hand is going to support my head, being really careful to not tug on the head. Chin to chest, we're going to crunch up. So you're pulling the belly button in. Inhale, exhale to crunch up. Good, so try to release through the hips. It's really easy to kind of tighten there and clench because we're engaging the abdominals, but see if you can let the hips go. So you can get a little bit of a stretch in the lower half of the body while we're working the abdominals. So that exhale is quite important. I'm going to switch hands. We don't want to be tugging on our head. We want to keep ourselves in neutral. Lifting up. So by adding this weight, of course, we're just adding extra resistance, extra weight that you have to lift. So that's going to help with definition. You definitely don't need to use any weight. 3, 2, and 1. Release that down. Let's release the weight carefully down. Okay. Let those hips drop open. Bring those legs into your chest one more time, giving yourself a hug. Extend the legs long. Give yourself a stretch here. Press the heels towards the ceiling. And then lower the legs to the floor. Stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the legs down below. Deep breath. And bring yourself up to a seat. Take a deep inhale, stretch those arms up overhead, just like we did at the beginning, but now from a seated position. Interlace the fingers and just laterally bend to one side. Laterally bend to the other side. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hands behind you. Press and open the chest. And you're done. My, how time flies. Have a good rest of your day.